Welcome student leaders to the Budget and Bookkeeping Workshop. The following presentation is designed to give student leaders a better understanding of the financial policies and procedures here at Worcester State. All policies and procedures can be found in the Student Leadership Handbook, Synergy. Worcester State has 4 different classifications of student organizations. We have class committees, major orgs, club sports, and special interest groups. It is important to know the classification you are in since they all receive funding a little differently and policies and procedures may vary. The treasurer role is very valuable to any student organization. The treasurer will be responsible for keeping track of the expenditures, funds raised, and the purchasing and payment process. It is important to talk with your fellow e-board and chairs to determine a budget plan for each semester. Be sure to set up a financial spreadsheet to help keep track of funding. This can be done through Excel, Google Sheets, or other templates you are most comfortable with. Be sure to record all transactions of your financial spreadsheet and compare it frequently with the Google Sheets that our office will share with you. Each organization will set up their budget a little differently. Each expenditure is broken down by a category. We call these categories line items. Class committees will have 2 line items. Their class allocation and line 99, which is fundraising. Major organizations and club sports will have multiple line items. SGA funds are allocated to different lines based off the budget proposal you submit to Senate in the spring. Example of line items would be performers, conferences, events, lecturers, food, or office supplies. Line names and order will be different for each major organization or club sport. All orgs will have a line 99. Special interest groups have 2 line items. SGA allocation, which is the $500 awarded once a club has been re-recognized for the academic year, and line 99. You may be wondering what your SGA allocation can be used on. SGA funds can be used at events you hold for the campus community. The following are some ideas: virtual events, prizes, tournaments, decorations, movies, entertainers, advertising, giveaways, games, or speakers. It is important to know that any SGA funding from Senate not used by commencement will be returned to the Student Activities Trust Fund. Line 99 is your fundraising line. It is money earned through having bake sales, getting donations, selling items, or charging admission for events. You can use your line 99 for any purpose consistent with your organization's goals and in compliance with Worcester State and SGA policies. The line 99 is the only funds that can be carried over from year to year. Line 99 can be used on members and to supplement your regular budget. Members like to be appreciated, so using your line 99 to recruit and retain members is highly encouraged. Items such as clothing, food, gifts, and awards are just some of the ways you can use this budget. Other items you would use line 99 for would be to purchase equipment, uniforms, or make donations. Donations require you to advertise in advance that you are collecting for a charity, and only those funds can be used. In the next few slides, we will discuss fundraising, deposits, clothing, uniform purchases, org socials, and gifts. When it comes to fundraising, you will want to work with your program coordinator that has been assigned to your organization. The first step in fundraising is to complete the fundraising form and get it approved before the event. All money collected during the event should be turned in immediately to the OSILD office. Always count your money before you turn it in. All checks should be made payable to WSU and not to the organization or individual person. Our office can provide a cash box for your event or any fundraiser on campus. Please speak with your program coordinator to arrange this. It is important to know that Worcester State cannot offer cash prizes, pay vendors, or reimburse people with cash. All funds must be turned in regardless of the situation. Payment in kind is also not allowed. This means that you cannot offer a company Worcester State services in exchange for something else. An example would be the radio station cannot ask a restaurant for a free meal in exchange for doing a free radio ad. T-shirts promoting the organization or a specific event can be purchased from SGA funds. Other apparel for personal use or only from members must be paid out of line 99. No more than $30 can be spent on one single item. SGA funds cannot be used for uniforms or team apparel. They can be purchased with line 99 or personal funds. If line 99 is used to purchase uniforms, then the uniform must remain the property of Worcester State and not the individual member. Line 99 must be used for any event that is directly related to membership retention. This could be a member social, an outing, purchasing food for the meeting, or buying any type of award or gift. No more than $50 can be spent on an individual award. The next two slides, we are going to focus on additional allocations and line transfers. Additional allocations are a request to Senate for additional funding above and beyond what you currently have. Any organization requesting additional funds must submit the request to Senate before March 1st. Student organizations should review your current budget and plan ahead. Please determine what the total expense of the event will be and how much funding will be needed. Once you fill out the form and submit it to Senate, they will hold a hearing and you will be invited to answer questions. Things you should ask yourself before asking for an allocation. 1. Can you transfer funds? This is only allowed by major orgs and club sports and will be discussed in the next slide. 2. Have you asked other groups or offices to co-sponsor the event with you? 3. Has your organization made an effort to fundraise? Do you have funds available in your line 99 to contribute? 4. Does the allocation you are requesting relate to your goals as an organization? Or 5, have you asked for an additional allocation in the past? A line transfer can only be done by a major organization or club sport. A line transfer is when a student organization wants to transfer funds from one SGA allocated line to another. To transfer funds, you will want to review your current budget, determine what lines need to be used, submit a form, and wait for Senate's decision. Things you should remember: organizations should never commit more funds than they have in a specific line item before gaining approval to transfer the funds from the student Senate treasurer. Also, the liability for overspending is on the treasurer and organizational officers who authorize the expenditure. Be ready to justify when you transfer money at your next budget hearing. You can also not do a line transfer in or out of line 99 within your own budget. There are a few finance terms that we think are important for you to know. We'll start with the Student Activities Trust Fund, or SATF. Each student pays an activities fee that goes into this trust fund. Senate then uses these funds to give student organizations their allocated budget for the year. Next, we'll talk about Request for Purchases, or RFP. An RFP is a form that generates a purchase order and gives your organization approval to spend funds. A purchase order, or PO, is a number provided to a company that guarantees payment after the completion of a service or order. A purchase order is not a form of payment. Next is the check request voucher, or voucher. A voucher form is completed in order to cut a check for a company to pay for those services or items. Next would be an invoice. An invoice provides a breakdown of what services you are paying for and their different amounts. Invoices are typically submitted with contracts and used when working with artists or vendors who are providing a service. A contract is an agreement made with an artist or company that is a legal document. All contracts should be accompanied by an invoice. A request for purchase, or RFP, is a form that generates a purchase order and gives organizations approval to spend funds. A purchase order is a legal statement sent to a company saying we will pay for them after they ship the order. This is Worcester State's preferred method of purchasing items and should be used as much as possible. Worcester State will not pay in advance for any item. The following are examples of when you should complete this form. You can do it for Amazon purchases, clothing and giveaways, gift cards, or any other purchase over $100 that does not require a contract. Our office has purchase orders already set up for organizations to use at the bookstore or Chartwells. To purchase items at the bookstore, please stop into the office and pick up a bookstore ordering slip from Christine or Colleen. To order food for an event from Chartwells, you will need to complete a food form at least 7 days in advance of your event and submit it to your program coordinator. There are a few important details you should know before submitting an RFP. First is it can take Worcester State up to 2 weeks to get approval. This means that you should plan in advance. RFPs will not be rushed due to lack of planning. Second, you can complete the new online request for purchase form. When you do that, please include a copy of the quote or a screenshot of your shopping cart so that we know what needs to be ordered. Third, keep in mind that a purchase order is just a legal statement that gets sent to a company and that we will pay for the items after the order has shipped. Please wait for approval back from our office before you commit to spending any funds. And lastly, please remember that a purchase order or RFP is not a payment. You will need to complete a check request voucher. New this year, if you complete the online form, there is a box to check off saying that you will give our office permission to pay it for you in the event that you are unable to do it yourself. A check request voucher is a form used by the university to generate a check. The voucher must be used any time that you are making a payment, including the bookstore, Chartwells, or a performer. Check request vouchers should also be used for any type of reimbursement. The following are important reminders for check request vouchers. First, you're going to want to go online and complete the voucher form. When you submit it, please include the invoice or a copy of the receipt. Second, you don't need to fill out the check request voucher if you are paying for an Amazon order, a resource room poster, or anything ordered on the college credit cards. Third, please keep in mind it takes Worcester State up to 30 days to process a check. Checks will not be rushed due to lack of planning. Fourth, reimbursements are really important. It must be submitted within 30 days. You cannot sign or submit for your own reimbursement, and if you're getting something shipped, it has to be shipped to Worcester State and not your personal home address. The last thing about reimbursements is Worcester State cannot reimburse for sales tax. There's a sales tax exempt form in our office that we're happy to show you or email you. Our request for purchase and check request voucher can be found at the following website, lee.worcester.edu/forms. Here are some important dates for you to remember. A request for purchase should be turned in at least 6 weeks in advance. For check request vouchers, checks can take up to 30 days to generate, so please plan in advance. Checks will not be rushed due to lack of planning. All reimbursements should be submitted within 30 days of the purchase. Additional allocation deadline is March 1st. Line transfer deadline is April 1st. And the last day to spend funds is reading day in May. Please do not order items if you're not going to be around to pick it up for the summer.